Greetings and salutations, humans. This is your host, PutinBot. I want to welcome you to the channel today. So I had an idea while I was looking at the Doom Tower, and I realized I've never really done a guide on how to beat the Eternal Dragon. So this guy, as y'all know, he is pretty stinking rough. What's so nasty about him is that he has the ability to put all of your skills on cooldown, and he does extra damage based on the number of skills that you have on cooldown. So what you need is either A, you need to have a way to put his skills on cooldown and to keep them on cooldown, or you need to have a way of sustaining through this fight. And I'm going to show y'all several champions who are accessible, who you'll be able to use to beat this boss on Doom Tower Normal, as well as Doom Tower Hard. And you're seeing them right here on the screen right now. And we actually do have a couple of substitutions if you are lacking some of these champions. These are not specific, but these are the champions that I use myself. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Geomancer. So Geomancer, what's nice about him is that he has an AoE A1 and it has a decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. So what that means is that he has a chance of reducing the boss's accuracy, thus allowing him to potentially resist whenever he puts your skills on cooldown, and that will then let him open up potentially using his Quicksand Grasp A3, which is a absolutely phenomenal skill. Geomancer is for more than just a clan boss, folks. He is an absolute beast, and I will show you all that here today. Also, he has a really nice aura, increases ally HP in all battles by 25%. I have him in the lead because of this aura. Now, next up in this list, so Skyle the Drakes, she is a free daily login reward that you get after playing the game for 6 months. But the big thing about her, and the reason why I want to bring her in, so her passive, Boundless Life, heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Also places a 30% increased speed buff on a random ally for 2 turns. Passives cannot be put on cooldown. So you need champions that have a good, strong passive to keep you in the fight, to help you with sustain, to help you with the Eternal Dragon. Skyle the Drakes is going to do that for you. Now, number 3 that I've got on this list, and there are a couple of substitutions, but none are as good as Padma, in my opinion. Like I said, I will show y'all some other options, but this is the one I really recommend. I do realize that she is a Void Epic, and so she's a little bit harder to get. That's why I'm going to show you a couple of other options that you can potentially work around. But why I recommend Padma, it's all about her A1. Matter of fact, whenever you get to the boss, you want to just go ahead and disable her A2 and her A3. Odds are she'll get to use them anyway, but all she's in there for is this A1. Attacks one enemy 2 times. If this attack is critical, has an 85% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So as y'all know, the Eternal Dragon, he summons these ads, and they can provoke you, they can do all these other nasty things. With Padma, it doesn't matter. If she hits one of the ads, let's say she gets provoked, so long as she crits, she has to have a 100% crit rate. She puts that decreased attack across the board. She debuffs the ads, and she debuffs the dragon. The reason why that's so important, when the dragon eats that priest that spawns on the right hand side, he takes an extra turn and he buffs himself. He buffs his attack, and so then he attacks you while his stats are just amped up like that. And if you don't have that decreased attack debuff on that boss, you're going to wipe. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You've got to have decreased attack on the Eternal Dragon, or you will not be able to beat it. So, Padma is the best choice for this. Another good option that you can run with is, if you go into the High Elves, Tyrell. Old school, oldie but goodie. If you do go with Tyrell, you're going to need to build him with some resistance, because if he gets provoked by that ad, that means he's not going to be hitting the dragon, he's going to be hitting that ad, and that means that your attack down could fall off and that'll end your run. It's all about this right here, folks. This would be the only reason that you're bringing them in. Now, another option that you have is in Lizardmen, and if memory serves, you get this guy for free. Is it? No, it's not Jizzo. It's Jereg. Jereg is the other option. Me personally, I don't have Jereg built out past level 50, so I do not run him in my Eternal Dragon fights because I have Padma. If you don't have Padma, and if you don't have Tyrell, Jereg is another really good choice. One, because of this A1. Now keep in mind, this does not have a 100% chance to land. So you are going to be playing with some RNG with this. Also, if you're going to be using Jereg, make sure you turn this A2 off, because if he somehow is able to get this A2 off and he gets an ally protect up on the team, when the Eternal Dragon takes his turn, it's going to kill Jereg, and you're not going to be able to pick him back up because all your skills will be on cooldown and your run's going to fail. He also has a really nice passive, places a 15% continuous heal buff on an ally for one turn whenever an ally loses 20% of their max HP in one hit. That happens a lot, and as you can see, this happens every time Jereg takes a turn. So he has a very good passive. So in order of effectiveness, in my opinion, Padma is going to be number 1, Tyrell will be number 2, Jereg will be number 3, and that all has to do with having that attack down on the A1. Tyrell's is 100% when he's booked. Jereg, I think his is 60%. So keep that in mind. You are going to be playing with RNG if you go with Jereg. Now the next champion that we're going to have is going to be an Orcs, and this is going to be Vrask. Vrask is a exceptionally good healer. What you're going to want to do is that once you get to the actual dragon, you want to prioritize your skills. You want to turn this A2 off because you don't want it. You only want him using his A1, and the reason is he gets a turn meter fill whenever he crits with his A1, and your Vrask is going to be built with 100% crit rate. And why is that, you're going to ask? Well, let me show you. Heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max HP whenever this champion inflicts a critical hit. So whenever you hit the boss with the A1, he's getting turn meter. It's going to help him take more turns, and you're getting a heal for your entire team based off of his max HP. It's not based off of how much damage he's doing, it's based off of his total health. If you have 2 Vrasks, that's even better. Feel free to run a second one. But you need to have at least 1. Otherwise, I just don't think you have enough sustain. Now, the other champion that I run, that I strongly recommend that you have, is going to be here in Knight Revenant, and it is going to be Doom Priest. It's all about the passive for Doom Priest. Heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP and removes a random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. The debuff cleanse is nice, but she's in there for the passive healing. You've got to be able to just out-sustain the damage that you're taking from the Eternal Dragon. It's all about the passives. And another option that you could potentially have will be with Vogoth. The A2 is going to be basically useless, so I mean, don't even worry about it. You can even just disable it if you want. But right here, with this passive with Vogoth, whenever this champion is attacked, heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. Only heals by 25% of the damage received from boss attacks. This champion receives only half the heal that all other allies receive, and then has a chance of placing a leech with his passive. So when it comes to passive healers, Vrask is going to be number 1. Doom Priest is going to be number 2. And then Vogoth, in my opinion, is going to be number 3. Now, one thing also about Vogoth, the placement in your turn order is going to matter. So what does that mean? Let me show you real quick. And so I've realized that this is kind of complicated, but this boss is difficult. So if you're going to be running Vogoth, you're going to want to have him, like say here where Geomancer is. That way he gets hit first, he takes his damage, and then the heal will go out from there. It's kind of like in the arena. Whoever's in your lead spot gets hit first by an AoE. This boss works the same way. But this is what it's all about. You don't need to worry about some kind of a fancy comp running 2 bashers and just try and just DPS the boss down. You don't need to do that. I'm going to show y'all a run, and then I'm going to show y'all the stats that I'm running on these particular champions. So I hope this is helpful. And if y'all have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, and I will do my absolute best to help you. With the Eternal Dragon, remember, it's all about the passives. It's all about sustain. Let me show y'all how this works. Actually, let me show y'all the team setup I've got here real quick. So on round 1, I've only got Geomancer's just doing his A1s. Pavement does whatever, don't care. Skyle does whatever. Doom Priest doesn't matter. Vrask, same thing. I just have Geomancer's skills turned off. I just want him using his A1. Round 2 is the same way. Round 3 is when you get to the actual dragon. Geomancer is going to open up with his Quicksand Grasp. Padma, I have her A2 and her A3 disabled. If you're running Tayrael, you're going to do the same thing. Also, when you get to the actual boss, if you are using Tayrael or Jereg, you must click on the dragon. If you don't, they're going to prioritize the ads, and you're not going to get that attack down on. That's why Padma is so flippin' good here. It doesn't matter who she hits, everyone has that attack down. Skyle, she's just in there for the passive. Doom Priest does whatever. Vrask, the A2 is turned off. He will only use his A1. So let me go and show y'all this run. Okay, so we are here to the dragon. Now I'm going to show y'all. This whole thing is going to be auto. Just going to A1 with Skyle. A1 with Vrask. I just want y'all to see how this works. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Sometimes the only time Geomancer uses this A3 is right here, which is perfectly fine. He's here for the A1, and frankly, he's here for his hit point aura, because he's giving Vrask more hit points that he can use to heal off of. Here we go. Now here come the ads. Skills are on cooldown. Now see the damage that we're taking? Now watch Vrask. We're just going to A1. And he's just topping this up. Now watch Padma. I'm going to use her A1. I'm just going to hit one of these guards. As y'all can see, there's no decreased attack on anyone here. I'm going to smack this priest. And we have decreased attack across the board. That's what makes Padma so broken good here. If you're using Tayrael or if you're using Jereg, like I said, you must click on the boss like I just did. Now I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to put this thing on auto and speed it up a little bit. And I hope, like I said, that this is helpful. This team is accessible. It's no muss. It's no fuss. It's no frills. But I'm telling you, folks, it gets the job done. If you have 2 Vrasks, take Skyle out and run a second Vrask in there. It's actually going to do better for you. And there we have it, folks. And so let's take a look here at the total numbers. So Geomancer came in with 2.6 million damage. Padma did 327,000. Skyle did 161,000. Doompriest did, it's funny, 39,999. And Vrask did 87,825. Now let's talk about healing. Vrask brought over 1 million hit points in healing to the team. Doompriest came in at 482,000, and Skyle came in at 851,000. So, like I said, if you have a second Vrask, feel free to bring that Vrask in and replace Skyle with her. 2 Vrasks is just broken. If you have a Doompriest, I do recommend it because, as y'all are able to see, those ads will put a decreased defense on you, and if that happens at the wrong time, life gets really dicey, especially if you're using defensive-based champions like, say, Tyrell or Jereg, and if you don't have attack down on that dragon and you have defense down on yourself, it's good night, sleep well, you're done. And I guess I will show y'all their skills real quick and the masteries that I have on them, and we'll wrap it up. It's pretty basic. So Skyle, on my account, I've got her in 2 speed sets, and then I've got her in some defense gloves, and I've been prioritizing speed. 255 speed, 266 accuracy. Her resist is a joke. I don't typically run her a whole lot anymore, but whenever I do, I just want her going quick. I mostly want her in there for the passive, for her stuns and general content. Vrask, actually, here's Padma. My Padma is a bit slow. 188 speed, 332 accuracy, and I've got her at 117% crit rate and 101% crit damage. She doesn't hit hard, but her job is to make sure the team stays alive. Masteries, I have her going down to War Master. Next up on the list is Geomancer. I've got him coming down to War Master because of his passive. If he has a hit point burn on the dragon, whenever he gets slapped, he's reflecting damage back at the dragon. And all sorts of clan boss, and just Geomancer is one of the best epics in the game. He's just an absolute monster. Total stats on Geomancer: his resist is 180. But what's really nice about him, with that A1, he's decreasing the accuracy that the dragon has. So that means your resist threshold to be able to resist that cooldown is lowered. As a result, occasionally you're able to pop off with his Quicksand Blast. If it happens, that's great. If not, it doesn't matter. We're just going to be using War Master procs to kill it. Doompriest. Where are you? Here it is. Here's Doompriest. Doompriest, I've got her going 228 speed, and I've got her in one speed set, and I've got her in a relentless set just to take extra turns occasionally. She's just in there for the passive healing and the cleanse debuffs. And then lastly is Vrask. My Vrask is at 235 speed, 80,000 hit points, and Vrask, just like my Doom Priest, has no masteries. He's a work in progress. But as you can see, it doesn't really matter. Once I do get him mastered out, I'm going to come down here to War Master. That'll make the run go a little bit quicker. But as you see, it doesn't really particularly matter a whole lot because that dragon doesn't have a ton of health. He just sits like a truck. And so the name of the game for him is all about sustain. Well, I will call it a day here, folks. Like I said, if you have any questions, any comments, and if I can be of any kind of help to any of y'all, please let me know. And I'm more than happy to help any way that I can. This is Putinbot. I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.